Excited to have you for the Greater Futures podcast episode. I have my friends Emma and Kaitlyn with us today. Super pumped to drill and let's see what questions we can ask them and figure out a little bit more of how they view the world. So, girls, I'm excited you're here.
Hi.
Are you excited to be here?
Yeah.
Kaitlyn, you want to tell me what you thought when Emma said, "Hey, let's go be on a podcast with my uncle," because she is my niece.
I was scared. And she doesn't really tell me what's going on, so I just winging this.
What do you think is the worst thing that could happen to you in the next 45 minutes?
I say something dumb. But that's not really the worst thing ever.
Right,
so.
right. And it wouldn't be the first time, I'm guessing.
No.
I say dumb things all the time.
Yeah.
Great. So everybody would love to know first a little bit about who you are. Kaitlyn, let's start with you. Who are you? What's your story? What's 45 seconds? Get to know you.
I'm 17. It's going to be my senior year, and I do cheer.
For which sport?
What do you mean?
Cheer? Is it?
High school cheer.
High school cheer.
Yeah.
Does that, not attached to a specific sport?
We do football and basketball.
Okay.
And we do competitions.
Right.
So it's just kind of a year-round thing.
So everywhere you go, people are happier after you've arrived than before you showed up.
We like to think that, but I really don't think they care.
What
do you think? From the student section.
Oh, yeah. I guess I have a whole different perspective.
Because you're one of the ones she's cheering to.
Yeah. I love it. I love seeing her.
Yeah.
Just because it's me.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah. I think it's just because I'm looking at her and just being like, smile, smile.
Yeah. So who are you?
I'm
What the heck are you doing here?
I'm Emma, and I'm going to be a senior too at Liberty North, and I play tennis for fun. And yeah.
You like to win, though?
Oh, yeah.
And then when you lose, I just do this for fun.
Exactly. Exactly.
Do you cheer just for fun, or is it serious to you?
It was serious when I did competitive, but now that I just do high school, it's just kind of to keep me in something, and especially being an upperclassman, just to be involved.
Yeah. Do you girls work? Have you worked? What do you do with your time when you're not doing either school or a school activity?
I sleep a lot.
Do you love it?
I love sleeping. But other than that, what do I do?
You do. Here. I feel like you're a really hard worker.
But at what?
Everything.
Oh, I do school.
Schoolwork.
Yeah.
She's really good at school.
Yeah.
Crazy good, I think.
Does she help you at all?
Yes. I think, especially last year, a lot more help.
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
Yeah. How about you? Do you, besides
Yeah.
school and tennis, anything else in your life?
I'm a hostess at a restaurant, so
Yeah.
that's a definitely good learning experience.
Yeah.
I think everyone needs
Good
to work.
money? Not good money.
I think it depends.
For your age.
Yeah, I think as my first real job, it is good and it's a really good learning experience and to work with money and to get money. But when I get tips and stuff, it really depends on the day.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Nice. So for both of you said I spend a lot of time on schoolwork.
Yeah.
That's probably one of your primary focuses.
Yeah.
So when you are sitting down to study in a way that you're this isn't going to be easy, or is it always fun to you to study?
Oh, no, it's not fun.
Okay. So when you're getting ready to study in a way no, I don't like this, but I'm going to do it anyway. What motivates you to do that?
Honestly, I try to set a time, and I usually will get an energy drink or something, so I specifically know if I go get that drink or if I go get this snack, that's my go time to start working.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just gonna be to drink on my own time.
Yeah.
It's this is it.
Nice. And so if you do that, it's usually a pretty good study session.
Yeah. Oh, and I put my phone on do not disturb, and I'll either tell myself a time or an assignment or something I have to get through before I can look at my phone just to get it done.
How long can you go? What's the shortest you probably, and then what's the longest you think you could study well?
I mean, sometimes it's just like 20 minutes, just like reviewing or like an easy assignment. But sometimes, like, especially before finals.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, like, she'll come with me. We'll go to the library and we were there like 5 hours one day.
Nice.
And we'll do that days in a row. So.
Yeah.
When you are going through that process, are you thinking about, I need to get an A or a B? Or what are you thinking about when you're like, all right, I need to do this?
For testing, it's definitely just getting a good grade and really nailing down on the things that I know I need to know and making sure it's drilled in my head. But
is the grade more important to you or the knowledge that you're soaking in?
the grade.
Yeah. And why are grades important to you?
Well, I want a good GPA because for college and the programs that I'm wanting to do, it's very competitive. So
nice.
A lot of that depends on my
So
grades.
as you're like, get your drink, get your book, are you thinking like, yes, I know exactly what I do with my life? Is it that clear, or is
I think
that
that's how you are.
No, yeah, I think it's definitely because I have a really specific set goal. So I think it kind of makes it easier to have that motivation.
We're so different.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Parents, are they involved in the pressure? You feel like, I need this grade?
No, my mom has never cared. She just, as long as it's like trying my hardest. And she honestly like thinks I overdo it sometimes.
Put too much pressure on yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the classes I take and stuff.
Yeah.
I think you do sometimes.
Pass the mic over to this worker. So when you went and applied for your first job, why?
She worked there.
Yeah.
And she goes, Emma, you need to do this with me. I applied in October, like right before Halloween. And I don't know. I kind of just did it because I needed money and she was there and I thought it would be a fun little thing to do. But
has it gotten you the money you thought it would?
yeah, it's definitely like got me going like on the money stuff and everything. But I just think like every teenager needs to work with like food and like stuff like that. It's just like crazy to me that
Yeah.
and
Food
people,
in particular, people.
Yeah. Because I guess before like I didn't realize like how stressful it is. Cause like you go and you see a host and all they do is like seat people and like enjoy like all that stuff. But like it's a lot more to it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You two worked together there.
Yeah.
How long before you would have gotten a job if it weren't for a really close friend?
Well, you were already like
Yeah, I was kind of like my parents were trying to crack down on me, like, okay, you need money. Yeah. So I was kind
of. Because you were spending all of theirs, or just complaining about not.
I was just
having
complaining, like I was like, oh my gosh, like I need like something to spend, and like when I go out with friends, like it's good to have like cash in your pocket. So like I was already kind of looking, but she was like, hey, this is gonna be an easy, like they'll hire you. So
was there any time when you were going out with friends that you didn't have cash and like, this sucks so bad?
Yes.
Do you remember like a time where it hurt?
Definitely during, I would say, football season. That is like the worst. Like, cause like we'll go get like drinks before, food after, especially food after. Like, and I'll just be like,
after a Friday night football game.
Yeah, I'll just be like, so I'll pay you guys back, cause like it just sucks. Cause I'm like, oh my gosh, this is embarrassing. Cause one time I didn't. Like my card declined at Whataburger, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing!" So I like was screaming because
whose card is this?
No, I was like, you remember that? Yeah, and I was like, oh my gosh, guys, my card declined. And I was like, I have cash, and she already walked away, so I was like screaming, I have cash, because I didn't want to like dine and dash.
Did you cause a scene? Like, did other people notice besides Kaitlyn?
There was like,
no one.
There was like Liberty Boys in there, and they didn't care.
You care less.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so I don't know. It's just nice to like, it's work, so it's not fun, but it's a good reward every 2 weeks.
Can I ask how much you make per hour? And like, how much is tips?
I think I make, is it 12? Yeah, I make minimum wage, but it really depends. Tips really, really depend on who it's coming from, I've learned. Because a lot of the time it's like the older people that'll tip you, but on to-go orders, it'll be like $1, and sometimes like if it's like a really big order, it'll be like $8, which is like I'm like, oh yes,
$8.
$8, yes, and it's actually just so rewarding, even to see like the $1.30 on there can round up to do $2, and it's just like yes. So that's always nice.
Are you surprised by how excited you get about $2?
Yes, because last night I was working and I was like it was so slow, and it was like no tips were coming through, and I was like, please, just something, and it was like $1.39, and I went $2. I was like so thankful, and then it like when people come in and they like get their food, because I'll take to-go orders on the phone, which I think is the worst part of it. They'll be like, who am I tipping? And I'll be like, me. And they'll be like, okay. And they'll just write me like $3, which is fine. But if it's old people, usually they'll give me like $9-10, so that would be nice.
So this is not meant to be a funny question. What defines an old person to you two? Like, what's a young and an old person? And I'm okay if, like,
yeah. She's good. No, she works with old people. So like,
I do, yeah. No, I think my opinion changed like as my mom got older, because like whenever I was younger, like I used to think my grandparents were old when they were like 40, because we have a young family. Yeah. And I used to think my grandparents older when they were like 40. Now that my mom's 40, like I would say like I think like 65 up is old. Like so where I work is right next to like an old folks like retirement. And so a lot of them will just come in and sit at the bar and get food. So I think it's kind of like, I think I'd agree. I think 65 and up is an old person.
Yeah. And then when you think of a young person, or like
25 is the maximum.
Yeah. Pretty young.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's some 30-year-olds that are pretty young.
Who?
I don't know. You don't see like social media influencers, and
I guess you're so right.
And you're like, oh, they're living the life, and then you're like, oh my gosh, they're 30, and then you're like, they're still so young.
Oh yeah, I guess
like think about like Tana and stuff. Like they're almost.
Oh my.
They're
gosh.
up there.
No, because. Yeah.
Good. So that is great background on the tea. I want to take you into the segment we call "If I Had $1 Million." And so, if you had it, there's like really no restrictions on it. There's 2 questions.
Okay.
What would you do with it? Would it change your life?
Can I go?
Absolutely.
Okay. I think it would absolutely change my life. Oh my gosh. I definitely, I don't know what I would do, but I think I would spend some of it, a good chunk, and then
A good chunk, half?
I don't think that much, but I definitely put a good amount into savings. I think the responsible part of me would.
Like the little angel on your shoulder?
Yeah.
Why savings? Like savings does nothing for you today.
I don't know. I think you like could always like realize like, oh my gosh, I still have that money. Because like for me, when I see like all that money in my savings, I'm like, ooh, I could do some damage with that. But I think it's just good like to know in the back of your mind that you have that money.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Coming from a perspective right now, I would say that I would spend like a good chunk of it on like something, well, not like I wouldn't buy a house at 17, but like if I were older, like a house or something. But I think honestly, if I ever did, I would put more research into what to do with that money, because I know that's not the best financial decision.
So it would cause you to do some studying.
Yeah, I would definitely look into stuff.
Yeah.
But I do think it changes like you, but I don't always think it's for the better. Like that kind of, like me having that amount of money would scare me, because I think there's a difference of growing up with money, you're used to it, but like not growing up with money, or like not growing up with like a good amount of money. Like I feel like if you watch people like that, they always like their personality changes.
Oh,
they change who they're friends with. And I just don't know if that's always like better.
Yeah.
So
Go for it.
I was gonna agree with that.
Yeah.
Cause like I know for her, like, it would kind of scare her because I know how she is. And then I think it would, like, if we were to get it, like, at this age, I think, like, 17 years old, like, seeing people at school who just, like, kind of have that walk to them, like, knowing, like, oh, like, this are the brands of clothes I wear compared to, like, other people, like, it like changes them and like how they act and stuff. So I think that.
So what is something you girls would splurge on? Like, yeah, I would spend, whether it's $1,000 or 10,000 or like, what's something you're like, yep, I would totally get that thing that I'm not currently buying.
Clothes and money.
Yeah.
Or not clothes and money.
Buy more money.
Buy
with
more
my
money. Clothes and makeup.
Yeah.
Sephora.
I'd say shoes because that's just something that you don't buy a lot because it's a lot to drop at once.
Yeah.
But I could always buy more. Like there's always something.
Average pair of shoes cost what in your zone, your interest?
Say like 120 to 150.
Yeah.
For like a good average, yeah, like not cheap but not like super expensive.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a question that I won't even. I don't even know the right answer right now, but Kaitlyn mentioned, I'd think about future house, big purchases that, okay, maybe $1 million could start to. What in your neighborhoods that where you two live, grow up, what do you think the average price of a house is?
I don't know.
Yeah, and like this isn't for you to like
Yeah.
get close to the right answer. I just want to know when you look at a house and think what dollar signs come to your mind.
I mean, I think we didn't move into my house that long ago, and so I think they're around like 300,000 in my neighborhood.
It's about this.
And I would say yours are like maybe 100,000 more.
Yeah.
But I
Would
don't
you
think-
have known what to say if she didn't start?
I honestly, before I like had ever looked at other houses in our neighborhood, I probably would have said they were 100,000. Because I don't live in a super nice neighborhood, but then like you realize like, even though it's not super nice,
Right.
it's still way more than you would think.
And you spent a little time imagining buying a house in your
Yeah.
just yourself. Have you ever imagined like, oh, I'll buy a house someday?
I definitely have. I've been more thinking like now that I'm like older, like apartments.
Oh yeah.
Like for us, because we've always talked about that, just kind of like downtown or like something like that,
Yeah.
so we could be together and
Fun.
stuff. But I've never really like thought of like very adulting, like that's how much a house costs
Yeah.
and like all the finances and all
How about
that.
something closer to home then? Like, have you girls paid attention to how much cars cost? Like, both cars you drive now, you both have cars.
Yeah,
But even like, oh, what if I got a new car? How much that would cost?
I know you have.
No, I definitely have because I love my car right now, but like my kind of overall like goal would to be sometime in college to buy a new car or a newer version of my car. But I think it's kind of ridiculously expensive, like for being a college student at least, like.
Yeah.
And I don't really know where I think that money would come from either. But
We always talk about like oh yeah, when we're like in college we're gonna buy all this stuff, and we're like, I think in the back of our minds we're like, where's this money coming from? Like there's no way.
Yeah. I mean, $12 an hour.
Yeah.
Going to get you that new version of your car.
Yeah.
Great.
So-
Where do you want to go to college is the question.
For me, I definitely want to go to Northwest because yeah, but
Really?
duh. And then but I also am in a program where I do get 2 free years of
A plus is what
yeah,
it's called, right?
community college at Maple Woods in Kansas City. So I'm going to take advantage of that, is my mother's advice. So I can start off strong, but definitely Northwest and figure out what I'll do.
So I have a lot of different ideas. My main like goal is that UMKC has a 6-year doctorate program, but it's really hard to get in. And so like obviously there's a good chance that that wouldn't work out, and I have to think about that. But realistically, I would probably go to like So my mom's work, because she's a nurse, so she gets like some tuition. I don't know even what
We talked about
but for me somehow it covers my tuition and
Yeah.
stuff. I don't know how it works, but so like Rockhurst would be free if I went there. Just like some of those smaller like private schools and stuff. So like financially that would probably be the best decision, and also like not being a community college either. Like I would actually be able to get a degree there.
Any chance you wouldn't go to college, or like good reasons, not just saying I ain't doing that, I'm lazy?
I really thought about it because, like, I'm not really, like, a school, like, learning person. I'm more of, like, a school, like, hang out with people and, like, extracurricular type stuff. So I thought about it and trying to, like, figure it out that way. Not because I don't want to, but, like, find, like, some type of path to go down and just, like, hit the ground running and, like, get going. But I don't know. I know didn't we think of Mizzou for a little bit?
Well, that's the other thing, is I would love to go to a big school like that. Like, and I have a friend going this year, and she's so excited about it, and obviously she hasn't started, so who knows where that's going to go. But, like, it just seems, now that we're older, it seems so much, like, cooler to, like, see people that experience it. But it is so expensive. Yes. Like, almost, like, not worth it. Well, definitely not worth it, like, I think. But I think there's ways to get around tuition and stuff, too, though.
Was there any part of you who was like, oh, it's college, I just won't worry about what it costs? Because it sounds like you've been pretty mindful about the cost of your girls' next choices after high school.
I mean, I would like to think that I don't worry about what it costs. But also, I think my mom, like, grew up being very, like, open about costs and stuff. And, like, she went through community college to get her degree, and she's still paying it off. So it's like, if she's still paying that off, like, it really, like, makes you wonder. Yeah. And also just, like, who's paying for it. Like, my friend who's going to Mizzou, her grandparents have it all in a savings account and are paying for it. So she'll never have to worry about that. But, like, for me, it's like, I'm probably going to be stuck with that.
I definitely think, like, hearing my parents talk about it, and, like, when I was younger, like, them paying for, I don't really remember, but, like, I know they've talked to me about it and have had conversations with me. And I think with the A+ program, they just know, like, it's for the better, not just because it's free, but just, like, money-wise, and, like, they'll know it's like, hey, trust us on this. And I'm like, okay, type of thing.
And you do trust your parents?
Definitely on this. I rather just, like, on other things, I'd probably be like, Mom, right, what are you talking about? Yeah. But I think coming from my dad and my mom saying, listen, this is what's going to be, like, best. Listen. I think so. Yeah. I would trust them on this part.
Nice.
Yeah.
Kaitlyn, how about you? I mean, you've mentioned your mom quite a few times. It sounds like she's been a pretty big influence.
Yeah. And I would even just say my mom. I feel like a lot, if you listen to a lot of adults talk about it, they kind of, either they have the regret that they spent so much on college, or they're so thankful that they didn't. And it really, like, makes you wonder, like, is this really worth it, like, going to a big school? Yeah. Because I feel like everybody has their regrets about it, like, because it's only 4 years of your life.
Yeah. So we're still technically in the segment of if I had $1 million. We haven't moved on yet. So would $1 million change those college plans you girls mentioned?
I think so. Yeah. I think I would take advantage of it and use it, to, like, what I wanted to do. I don't know what, like, to be honest, like, I don't know what it would cover or anything. Like, if it would be, like, out of, like, state and stuff, like, how
would
much
you be motivated to, like, figure out those details? Or, like, no, don't bring me the details. The details, like when you start breaking down tuition, room and board, out of state, in state, that stresses you.
It's so, I just think there's so much to it. Like, you have to, there's so much to figure out. There's so much, like, I think there's so many, like, payment plans and stuff. And then, like, I don't know. like it's hard to look into because it's just so stressful.
So do you stress out if you're studying, like, so a science or math class that you're probably taking, and
Yeah.
it's complex? Does that stress you out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like my breaking point. Like the one thing I can't handle is when I can't comprehend something.
Yeah.
Like,
And so then do you quit?
yeah.
She does.
I know, I really do.
She does.
Like I'll literally text, like I'll be like, okay, I'm studying, and I'll text her and be like, I'm done. Like I can't do this.
Yeah. Like I like just like coming we're so different when it comes to school.
Mm-hmm.
Like last year was really when I realized I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy how like opposite we are, because she's taking all these like college classes and like getting deep into it. AP testing, like I would like wait outside for her. Like I think it was AP Psych. I waited outside and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so like nerve-wracking. Yeah, it was so nerve-wracking. I was like, oh my gosh, like how is she doing this? And then like I think for me, when like it comes to like the stuff of like I really was like focused going back to like the out of state and like with the $1 million stuff, like I really wanted to like go away from Missouri and just get out, but I was like, I just don't think I can. And then like the stress part of it all is just crazy, like
Yeah.
how much money and like doing good and like all that stuff.
So when you think like, oh, it's complex, it's stressful, your first reaction is like, we'll just forget about it? Do you think you two are capable of breaking it down in a way that you could digest it, or is like, nah, that's not me?
I think we could. Don't you think?
No, I definitely think we could. But I was just going to say it's more just like the time. Like I don't ever wake up one day and say like, I'm going to go through this.
Yeah.
Like, and I should, but it's just not something I look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we like have like fun conversations about like our future and like stuff, because we're close and like we do a lot of stuff together. So I think if we really wanted to like crack down on it, we probably could, but
Okay, we're going to play
Yeah.
a little game real quick.
Oh.
So you both are going to imagine your future self. And the first image that pops in your head, I want you to think, I'm this age. Like the future self you're imagining is approximately this age. And you're going to say what age you're thinking of at the same time. Okay? Do you have your
already
future
know.
self in your head?
Okay.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
23.
23
Yeah.
and 25. Yeah. Okay, so tell me a little bit about that version of Kaitlyn. She's excited.
She loves this.
No, okay. I said that age specifically because I think that's about the time I'll probably be graduating college.
And you thinking with a
That's what you've
with a doctorate
Yeah.
program
So,
certification?
I mean, it's kind of hard to like estimate because first of all, like I've already done pretty much my 2 years of associates.
Right.
And then, so it's like if I did the 6-year program, technically I'd only be in for 4 years. But then if I still had 6 more years, what would that make me? 24.
Mm-hmm.
And then with residency for doctors, like that can range from like a year to like 6 years or 8 maybe. So it's really hard. But like that's the kind of the middle age I think that I'm going to be finishing up stuff. So I just imagine myself, I want to move into an apartment before anything, and I don't think I'll be married, but
Do you think you'll have a roommate if you're not married? Like
oh
friend
yeah,
or-
probably.
yeah.
It's like hopefully I'll be in like a committed relationship, but I don't think I would be getting married in college.
Like
Yeah.
maybe have a dog committed to it.
Yeah. A cat, yeah.
Nice. Anything else about that 23-year-old Kaitlyn that resonates with you?
Here you go. I'll think of some.
Okay.
How about, you said 25, right?
I said
She
23.
said 25. You said 23.
Yeah. For me, I don't know. We're like so different. Like she has her whole life planned out, all this. I just want to have fun. And
Girls do, right?
yeah, girls just want to have fun. And so I think for me, it's just when I like see myself like, yeah, working hard and like doing school and stuff and doing what I dream of and just like I just really want to work with like people and like social media, something like that. And like, I don't know. I always make a joke of how I'm going to be famous one day. Yeah. I always joke about that with people. But anyways, when I see myself at 23, I just see myself like having fun and like living my life before I like settle down and like all that stuff.
Oh, great. So let's move in then to the you segment is what we call it. And you can hang on to that mic, Emma, because you say having fun. So what is a time or what's a situation where like I feel the most alive in that setting?
I always say this. I think the most time I will ever feel like, this is amazing, is like, I guess Friday nights is like when everyone's together, like going to Cane's after like football games, driving around, hanging out with people.
So there's friends, a lot of friends.
Yeah, a lot of people hanging out with.
Yeah.
I think doing stuff like that, like, I think the most is probably like homecoming football game is probably the most I've ever felt alive.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say the same thing about Friday nights.
Yeah.
Which I think is like, I don't know.
It'll be different this year.
I think it's almost weird to say, but I think it's just there's energy and you can feel it. But like not always just standing there.
Ooh, I have a good one.
I would usually say like before and after. But I always think like me and Emma will always get ready together.
Yes.
No matter who it's with, like if there's other people with us or if we're going somewhere to meet people, if we're going somewhere alone, we always get ready together. And I think like it just makes everything so much more fun.
I was just about to say that. Like, I think like our thing is like getting ready together, because last year it was always like, hey, like we are getting ready together. Like it was very like we need to make sure it happens. And so I also believe like, I guess it's different because you're not in the student section, but I think that's when everyone's like really close and happy. Like you can just feel it, like everyone's in a good mood. I guess like being down below, it's like kind of cool.
So I'd say like even though I'm not in the student section, like you can feel all of the energy shift. Like it's so awkward
crazy
for us if you can tell, like if we're losing or if like
Which you guys don't lose.
we don't.
We don't lose. We do not lose.
But when we do, it's bad.
It's bad. Like people.
Wait, we're North. We don't lose.
No, because people will leave. Like it's bad and it's like embarrassing.
No, yeah, we're like crybabies. Like it's
we are.
and it's so awkward for us. And it's awkward.
Spoiled.
It's
Yes.
awkward because we have to cheer through it. Like that's just like
and there's parents booing.
Hey, I mean, anyone can cheer when the news is good. Can you cheer when the news is bad?
no, yeah. Like we've had like one time we got pulled aside at state because we were losing so badly, and we were undefeated this year.
Was that
My freshman year. Yeah. We got pulled aside at state because we were losing so badly, and our coach literally had to be like, "I don't care what you guys do. Like you need to start smiling." Like it was so bad, but I think like so even when it is like happy and stuff, like you still feel it. Oh yeah, last year was good.
I think it's like you can just feel like when they come out of the tunnel with the flags and all the lights are off and there's like everyone turns their flashlights on. It's like the energy is like crazy. And I don't know. It's maybe because there's like so many people there and everyone's like, oh, like you just know it's
Bro,
gonna be
are we
something.
gonna go to Liberty North football game?
Sounds like it.
It's literally like an NFL game, I think.
No, and I think it's like so cool. Like it's such a weird feeling because like when the student sections yell and stuff, like it almost feels like dumb. Like we're just high schoolers yelling, but it's like, and like after when we win and like everyone's running, like
you go down on the field and stuff.
yeah.
All right. So if we were recording this 2 months from now, some of this big excitement would actually be over for you two, right? Like homecoming will be behind you.
Yeah.
So is life over for you?
I say no because I think like there's
That's
always
good. That's a good answer.
and honestly like I feel like there's times where you look forward to it being over too.
Oh,
but
yeah, definitely.
But I think there's always going to be nights like that. Like, I think about concerts. We're a big concert family.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be a time where you can do that and we can get ready together and there's going to be, like, the same thing. It's just not going to be the same thing.
definitely when it's over, it'll be kind of sad. But like, also, I feel like we have so much to look forward to.
And also, it's not football season and we have so much fun.
That's so true. We always have fun. But I don't know. I guess when it's over, it'll be like kind of sad because, not to brag, but we did win best student section in Missouri. So
according to your own school,
according to the website, students where you vote. So I don't know, but I don't either.
according to the internet, we're really good.
We're really amazing, but it'll be sad. But definitely, what she said is like we'll have so much to look forward to. Like we're going to Taylor Swift again. Like we have so many more concerts and stuff like that. So it's not like it's gonna end.
How are you gonna get Taylor Swift tickets again?
We already did.
That was so funny.
This is you.
Yeah. We're like really lucky about concerts. Like my family is like
Your mom. No,
my mom, she can get tickets to anything. And we got tickets the first time because I got the pre-sale code. And so obviously it was kind of just like a little like joke. I was like, Mom, if I get the pre-sale code again, like we can find cheap tickets. Like, because first time we sat like really good seats.
Oh, they were so good.
And this time it was like, we'll get like kind of like worse seats. And she's always wanted to take us to New Orleans because she loves it there. And so she had a New Orleans show, and I was like, just for funsies, like if I get the pre-sale code, like, and they have like, because they have like $100 tickets, like, and she was like, yeah, whatever, sure. And I got the pre-sale code. So
How?
She skipped school.
oh, I did skip school, but that's not how I got the pre-sale code. It's like it's honestly at random. Like I have never heard of like anyone else who got it twice. Like I'm the only person, because I know so many people who just try to get it once and never could, like never got to go to the Kansas City show. And I got it twice.
And I remember I was at school and she was texting me the whole entire time. But I would say her mom is insanely lucky because when we went to what concert? Drake.
Yeah.
When we went to Drake,
The seats just opened.
we literally first off, we told everyone we were going. We never got tickets. We were just like we are
before they
going.
just dropped,
Yeah,
like-
we were like we're going. And we told everyone we were.
Were
No.
you afraid?
Oh, we were
What, that
terrified.
didn't
I
turn
was
out?
terrified
I mean, like, we-
because I told my whole ELA class, I was like, I bought tickets, but I didn't.
Maybe it's just, oh my God, you did. But maybe it's just because like I knew in my heart, like I was like, we're gonna go.
Yeah.
But you didn't.
But also, it was so crazy because we got like, no, listen. we were on the phone with her mom, and were you looking online? Was your
my
mom?
was looking and she was like, oh my gosh, these tickets just opened up. Like, because Emma didn't know like what her budget was.
No.
And because like that's the other thing, we knew we weren't going because like the tickets were like $400 a piece and we knew that wasn't happening. But then my mom was like, oh my gosh, these tickets just opened up like for like $150 or something. And she was like you need to tell us now. Like,
And so I just said, do it.
yeah, she was like,
I didn't tell my mom anything.
No, yeah, she was like, they're gonna get taken. Like, tell me right now.
Because they were insanely good seats. Like, I personally think it was the best financial decision ever.
we were like right next to the floor without being on the floor. Like
Yeah.
that's what it was.
That's good.
And
Yeah.
he pointed at us.
He did point at us. He got on
Yeah.
the little.
His like cage. It was like a cage, and it was like floating around.
Yeah,
he
I've
like
never been pointed to at.
And we were like,
Go ahead.
Oh, because we got the last minute section, so everybody in that section just got the tickets. So we were the only ones that were hyped.
yeah, no one else was, and we were kind of by
you
old people.
called that like the best financial decision.
I genuinely think
What makes you say that?
because it was just like okay, like snap decision, like
And like, I think for some artists it's like meh, but like I think like kind of iconic people like Taylor Swift and Drake and people who will always like have a name in the industry no matter what. It's like
people.
You're gonna get to tell your kids that like.
And we looked really good.
Well, yeah, and then it's just also so much fun, and we got to get ready, and it was really exciting to get the tickets last minute.
Yeah.
Like,
Kendrick
really.
Lamar does not think that was a good.
I was gonna say, Wake, what did you learn being your current age? What did you learn from that entire conversation? Starting from the Taylor Swift bit.
Well, I think I would love to see you girls at that concert.
Oh my gosh.
Because I know, like, right now, you're like, all right, you've just had to sit in those seats, but just, like, a place where you're like, I feel amazing, you know? And, like,
Yeah.
I think I can tell by the way you were kind of like, it was incredible.
It was just, it was so cool because her mom kind of just took us to dinner and was like, okay, like it was like, okay, like you guys got this, like have fun. And we were kind of stressed, but we did it and it was really fun.
No, that's what I love about concerts too, is because it's just kind of like,
We still have Zach Bryan too.
and yeah, Zach Bryan, Taylor Swift. Is my mom is like so consistent about like she'll take us to dinner before, and then like obviously there's probably gonna be a day where I'm driving myself, but that will not be Taylor Swift.
Right. So to not at all take away from the joy of those memories, but like I said about the football games and homecoming, I said that'll be over, and then you both have kind of gone like, yeah, but we still got concerts, right?
Yeah.
And your friendship is pretty fun, and it's admirable that you two have had such good. But the chances of you two, that's like, you know, getting separated at least for seasons is real, and knowing that like, hey, yeah, things change. Yeah. We don't know how they'll change, but they'll change. Like, are you afraid of that? And do you think that, you know, if you take something like, oh, what if you two do end up living distantly, or even have a rift that separates your bond, is that change, do you think, man, game over? Like, no, I'm ready to adjust.
So we've actually kind of talked about this. Like, no, just wait. Where it's kind of like you see people at school and they like are like, this is my best friend. Like, but you know, once they graduate, it'll kind of be a thing where they'll just be Facebook friends. And I know like with us, I don't know, maybe this is just me, but like, I don't think, because we're not fake to each other. We're honest with each other. Like, it's kind of like, I don't know. I'm scared. I'm scared you're gonna be like, heck no, I hate this girl.
No, because for me, it's like, this is very specific to me, but I hang out with 3 people, and I don't talk to anyone. Oh, and so for me, it's just like my 2 childhood best friends. I'm still best friends with them. Yeah. Like, for me, it's just like if I let someone in that close, I know they're not going anywhere. Yeah. Like, unless something's...
Because you won't let them.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's true.
Like, unless something specific happens, like, that would give me a reason to not want to be friends with them, but not, like, just, like, distancing. Like, I think I'll always, like, be good at, like...
Yeah.
Not letting things.
Are you afraid of things changing?
Yes.
No. But I went through a lot of change in my life.
Yeah.
Like, and I think I'm so thankful for it. Like, I get excited for things to change because I know good things come out of it.
I think this year was like my big change, I guess. I don't know. I felt like it had a lot of emotions and stuff. So for me, I've always been a person who's scared of change. I've always been that way. Like, I hate moving seats in classrooms. But, like, back to, like, how the 3 friends stuff, like, I feel like that's another thing where we're different. It's kind of just, like, because her friends are Haley Brooke and, like, me and stuff like that. But then it's, like, I go to Target, and then we run into people, and, like, Emma, and then, like, yeah, Kaitlyn, and then people know we're always together, so that's nice. But I'm always scared of a little bit of change, I think.
Yeah, because it's uncertain. Who knows who would be there? Who'd be sitting beside you if Kaitlyn wasn't? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, those kinds of things. Good. Mm-hmm. So you girls are great, and I love your opinions on things. Could talk a while. I do want to know a little bit more of how you think about your time and money. And so at this point, you both come across as extremely confident, which is actually, I think, a real big asset for especially young females. Like to say, if I can walk out there confidently, it's going to mean a lot because people aren't going to just take advantage of putting me in places I don't want to be, or jobs or roles. So where did you get that confidence? How do you, and like when it comes to making choices, say like, where do I want to work, or how much do I want to study, or where do I want to go to school? Where do you feel like you've learned to break those decisions down and make the best choice you can? Was it parents, television, movies, books, some other source? How have you developed your worldview when it comes to you making great choices? Or do you make great choices?
I think it's very off and on. Like, I make good choices, and like with my money and stuff like that. And there's other times where I'm like, why did I just spend so much money on Starbucks? Oh, like it like hurts. Like sometimes like I'll open to be like, she'll text me and be like, hey, you want to go to Target? And I'll be like, yeah. And I'll open see how much is on my card, and I'll be like, oh. Like it'll just be like, oh, okay. But I think, I don't know, confidence wise,
You think your parents?
I think my parents. Yeah.
I definitely think, like, my family, and growing up with my grandparents, they, like, never would, like, spend money on anything that wasn't necessary. And now they have a lot of money and it just, like, sits, and they never really did anything with it. And so my mom, like, I think my mom is very good about money, because she kind of is like an in-between where she does have a lot she lets sit, but also like she understands, like literally you're talking about concerts, like she paid for that concert for me, like she'll pay for some stuff just like to make things enjoyable, because I was always taught that like experiences are more and like more important than what money you have sitting around.
Sorry, I have some.
But then like as far as like spending money on like clothes and like
Lashes and stuff.
yeah, like just like fun money, I would say it's kind of like it can be like regretful, but also I just think it's like it's really just an exchange. Like you exchange money for something that's hopefully gonna make you happy. And then when it doesn't, that's when the problems are.
When she was talking about like experiences and stuff, I've learned from her and her mom, like how we would like talk about Christmas. Like she'd be like, we've always been like a go on trips, concert people. Like her mom is very like, I want you to experience this instead of like opening something. Yeah, a lot of trips. And so like when I started being friends with her, that's when I really like realized where I was like, oh my gosh, like yes, that's me. Like I was like, yes, I would so rather like see Taylor Swift again and experience that, or like go on a trip or something, than I think other things. But I think learning from like my parents, and especially my dad and like seeing how he handles the money in my family, because that's kind of what he does, is he's very in charge of that stuff. It kind of teaches me a little bit. I don't know. Yeah.
Good. You both took a personal finance course as a part of your high school education experience.
It's a required class.
It's required.
Yeah.
And so, thoughts? Good, bad, indifferent? Not at all.
For me, I would say it was not very good. It was pointless. Like, I think if it was a sit-down class where you have to learn this, take notes, and test,
This
then
was
I'd
online?
learn.
I do have an opinion on this actually. This is one of the classes they offer online for summer school and stuff.
You can cheat, by the way,
Right.
this whole class.
And I think that kind of makes it pointless.
Right.
Completely.
Like, I think you're right. Like, I think it should be a class you sit through and you actually work. But also, those classes are so, like, just like extra, what do you call them? Not, I don't know what they're called.
They're
Electives?
Electives.
Yeah.
Just elective classes in general. Like, everybody I've ever talked to, they're like, oh, yeah, I don't put as much effort in those classes because I need to be focusing on these classes. So I think, yeah.
Like, I know for me, like, literally, when it would come to, like, personal finance or PE or something, I just, like, those were the classes, like, I could care less about, because I was, like, number one, if I needed to care about it, I would. But it's, like, I can go on Quizlet and the whole thing is there. Like, it's online, and it's, like, we weren't being taught anything. It was all, you just click through it to get through the assignment. So I wasn't learning much.
So, if you could take that same time or chunk of time that's personal finance or any of these other electives, What would you two suggest for an 18-year-old girl or guy that would be a better use of your time? Because you feel like the state kind of wastes your time by even saying, check that box.
Yeah.
And most kids are just like, yeah, checked, whatever.
That's what we want to do, yeah.
So is there any way to improve that, or is that just the way it's going to be for a teenager in Missouri high school?
I think they need to actually kind of talking maturely, like they should make it a class. Like that.
Like you have to be in person?
Yeah, like you have to go in, because a lot of the classes at Liberty North is like online, especially for like health and stuff. Like you can literally leave school, like, and none of the people do anything.
You can disagree with each other on this, by the
Okay,
way.
speaking
It's
about
just an
health,
idea.
I know this is not what we're talking about, but like that's the class you learn CPR and stuff, and they like teach it online,
yeah.
which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of that? But I think like if it was more, which I didn't take the class at all, but I also didn't take the class in person. But
But somehow you still check that off the list. She's smart. She's smart. She values her time.
Yes. I went on a good vacation. I think like it just, as I imagine it from what I've seen, I don't think it's a very interactive class.
No.
And I feel like with learning that type of stuff, it needs to be interactive and you need to be able to make decisions. And I feel like it's very like research based.
I just think all the kids, like, for me, luckily, it was something I did freshman year, so I got it out of the way. But a lot of kids wait because they know they can get through it, and like, if they wanted to, you could get done for the whole year in a week. Like, that's what we did for summer school. Like, it was just a week. Like, so like, I think a lot of kids take advantage of that, so they know they can like, oh, if I just worked really hard this week, I could finish the whole course and then leave campus and go to Starbucks or go home or something like that.
Yeah, I'm really interested in just your perspective, or a lot of people like you, just because no one sits in a government or the education department and think, how can we waste this time? But obviously, most of the feedback is like, just not that effective.
Not at all.
What do you think, Kaitlyn? She's like, give that to me.
And I think it's because like everybody always stressed how important it was. Like, why aren't high schools teaching our kids like this stuff?
Yeah.
Like, I remember that was a debate for a really long time. So I think it's important to teach. I just think there's a better way to go about it.
I would totally agree with that, because
So totally.
because like, it's crazy like to how many like times like teachers will be like, you should have learned this in this class, or you should have done this in this class, and we're like, we didn't, like. And then like back to like on the online courses we have to get those boxes, you just need to like fly by. There are so many ways where it could be so much more helpful to students, like, and then they wonder like why we're failing those electives that we just need to check. It's because no one does anything. That's what I think.
You don't care?
Yeah.
And I also think it's like busy work. Like,
totally. Videos and stuff.
yeah, like it's just like they like to see us do assignments, not like you're actually like getting anything out of it. Like,
But then they complain about grading them. Like, that's
Oh,
what
yeah.
makes me mad. Because then like a teacher will be like, oh, now I have to grade all your work. And I'm like, you just could have taught us and gave us a test. Like, whatever.
Yeah. We need to get all of those on a podcast interview, and then they have to answer.
Oh, I
to all
love
these
that.
Real questions
I would
of
love
life
that.
and how you're going to make it work. Okay. So again, would love to hear your ladies' thoughts on all of the world's issues. But for interest of time, I do want to hit you with the rapid fire.
Oh, yeah, you can start.
So, it'll be a question and then answer, pass the mic, hang on to the next question.
Okay.
Again, just a few words. So, and I might have to pause to figure out the best next question. So, all right, Kaitlyn, Emma, you ready?
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. Would you rather have a dog or a cat?
Cat.
Cat.
What is a car that has really interested you? Type of car.
got it. You know it.
Wait, I have multiple answers.
Give me one.
Okay, for reliability, Toyota Camry. I love my car.
Yeah, she
Toyota
does.
Camry.
Wait, like any car we want?
Any car you are interested in. You don't even have to catch your eye.
Probably a pink Range Rover.
Have you ever babysat?
No.
Yes.
Good experience, bad?
Different.
Yeah. Would you rather spend an hour with a person 85-year-old or with a person 1.5-year-old?
85.
1.5.
Nice. A stupid purchase you've made.
Probably $25 on Starbucks.
In one go?
Yeah. One day.
Were you ordering for anyone else besides yourself?
No. Lashes.
You've never...
Oh, lash
Yeah.
extensions?
Nice. One person not in your immediate family that you trust a lot. And not each other. You know?
Oh.
Yeah, not each other.
I was like, well, that's easy. Okay.
I don't know.
So not your
Can I
mom or dad or
like say
sibling.
like another friend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another friend.
Yeah. I mean, Haley, if we're getting specific.
I guess shout out to Hannah. That's it. I don't know.
Okay, kind of a different version of the same question. Who do you trust more? A teacher at Liberty North High School or Taylor Swift?
Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift.
Wait, I feel like it's
Like the best teacher you have at Liberty North or Taylor Swift?
Oh, I can't do Miss Sylvie Dirty.
Miss Sylvie.
Yeah.
That's who you would trust.
Yes.
You would
Taylor
trust...
Swift if I was her. I would say like Miss Thig.
Oh, she yelled at me.
So you would trust a teacher more than like Taylor Swift and how she's
I
spoken?
mean, like realistically, it's like you'd never
Yeah.
really know someone like
I guess you're
outside of
right.
social
If we have to be
media.
mature. I guess if we have to be mature, I'd probably choose a teacher at Liberty North.
but I'm not happy about it.
I'm really not.
So do you think it's more likely that you will earn more money and not have much free time, or have more free time and earn less money?
I think I'll earn more money and,
And have
have
less
less
free
free time. Yeah.
Earn more money, less free time.
Okay, free time activity go-to would be...
Oh no.
I have mine. Chipotle and Target all on the same day.
You would go. That's what you do.
Because they're-
Oh, shopping.
Yeah, because they're like right across the street from each other. So we just go across.
Yeah.
What if you could spend no money? What's something you would do? Downtime.
Lay in bed and watch TikTok.
I'd say watching TV or being on my phone, but also like I try to go on walks and stuff. Like I think it's like
So mature.
Her new thing is hiking. Like going on scary walks in the middle of nowhere. And
Have
it
you ever
freaks
been
me
on
out.
the waterfall hike near Parkville?
no, should I?
Highly recommend. How many hours of sleep do you think you average a night?
Well, I think it depends on sport weeks. In school, yeah. Like for
Summertime.
summertime, oh,
Just like
any. I think probably 6 or 7.
That's such a lie. I'll check her activity and it's like active 12 hours ago and I'm like, how is she still asleep? That is the biggest lie I've ever heard.
I don't know.
How many hours do you think you average? There's not a correct answer. But I
Honestly-
can't verify this.
I really like probably like 7 or 8.
Wait, what? Wait, when do I go to bed?
You go to bed at like 10 and you wake up at like 10.
So true. So true.
Like she's a
And that
solid
math
10
is
girl.
a solid 12 hours of sleep.
Oh yeah, that's so true.
I usually like so if I go to bed at like 12, I'll wake up at like 8. If I go to bed at like 3, I'll wake up at like
Oh.
11. Like
Give me this. Okay. When we spend the night at each other's houses,
oh yeah.
our thing is we'll go to bed at like we'll go out and then we'll come home probably before 12. It depends. And then we'll go to bed and she'll be up at the butt crack of dawn. She'll already be showered, or she'll go to cheer and she'll come back and she'll already be like all dressed and ready and she's laying in bed. I'll be dead asleep. I won't know that she left or anything. She's such a morning.
No, like I'll get out of the shower and I like come in my room and Emma's like with her sleep mask up like
Oh, girls, great job. I appreciate getting to know you better. Again, Greater Futures Podcast, no wrong answers. So this is the final segment to say thank you, and I really appreciate you giving me some time. It's called Spin the Wheel.
Yes.
And so what we have here is a series of retail or restaurants that you two have picked out. So you together can come and just tap on that together to spin this wheel, and we'll see what you end up with. Hoping for $20 for you. Nice spin. Let's see. You are both going to get $10 to Chipotle.
It's
enough to cover one.
That's what
You
we
both
usually
get
do.
$10 though. You don't have to.
Oh!
So you could go. You could go
What?
twice and share.
We could get queso on the side and everything.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Yes.
Hey, great work. Anything you want to let whoever will listen to this in the future know before you sign off?
Be smart with your money, kids.
Hey, kids.
Hey, kids, you listen here.
Oh, and one question. What is something you want the generations older than you to know about how they act with your generation?
We're not stupid.
I'm always big on like your age doesn't mean you should be respected. Like you earn respect.
Earn respect for the way you act.
Yeah.
I think it's like on the news and stuff, you see Gen Zs and all this and TikTok. And I feel like it's like, oh my gosh, we aren't stupid.
Oh my gosh, yeah, they act like since social media, like we're any different than any other generation. Like, I feel like it's just more put out there.
Sorry. Sorry, millennial. Yeah. I blame you. I blame you. I do.
Hey, for what it's worth, I've been listening to you for an hour and a half as closely as I can. And I've really appreciated every moment. So
We're cute.
great. Good. Well, thank you. Great work, ladies. Thanks
Thank
to
you.
who gets to learn more about you. Hopefully their lives will be impacted by learning
Hopefully
more
we go
about you.
viral.
Absolutely. There's no doubt. So, yeah, tune in to Greater Futures. Love to have any of you on to find out your perspective on the world like these ladies. Great job, and we will see you real soon.
Deuces.